Hello friends, and welcome to my home for the next 3 days. As I said, it's my birthday on Tuesday, so I thought a 180 degree sea view was in the cards, really. Oh yeah, good fun. Good morning. And that is Orion rising, Jupiter, Cassiopeia, and yeah.
Je peux pas dire que moi, je me dis que je pense pas se noyer dans la mer et puis.
When it's the morning of your 50th birthday and the sun rises like a ghost out of the sea. Good evening, friends. So, it's my last night in Finale Ligure. The evening of my 50th birthday, no less. And tomorrow I head up to Alessandria on my way to Milan, Zurich, and eventually Prague. It's a beautiful evening, albeit a very, very blustery one. I'm kind of just slightly out of the wind here. Anyway, I'm standing in the shadow of the Mausoleum of Marshal of Italy, Enrico Caviglia, who is far and away Finale Ligure's most famous alumnus. He is probably the most distinguished, decorated, and all-round admired military officer that you've never heard of. I do recall the name from my history books at school, learning about World War I, but of course I've done my research. He was a lifetime military officer for Italy. He served all over Africa, Europe, all the way through, and was already a general officer when World War I kicked off. In September 1915, which is when Italy joined the war against the Austro-Hungarian Empire, he distinguished himself again and again and again. He was promoted to Lieutenant General from Major General early on in the war. He was the key figure commanding for the 11th Battle of the Isonzo. He performed brilliantly. It was a massive advance and huge victory. Then the disastrous 12th Battle of the Isonzo. He again distinguished himself, but this time in defeat, if you like. The entire Italian front crumbled, absolutely crumbled, and he was the only one who kept his troops together, morale high, discipline in good order, and made a tactical withdrawal and saved so many of his men and, of course, equipment as well. By the time the end of the war came around, in September 1918, he was the commanding officer of the entire Italian front at the decisive Battle of Vittorio Veneto. It was huge, absolutely massive engagement against the now ailing Austro-Hungarians, and it was a decisive victory for Italy and the Allies, because the British and the French were there too, but in far fewer numbers. He is credited with pretty much the entire thing, and you have to understand that it happened from October, 24th of October in 1918, and the ceasefire was declared on the 3rd of November 1918. It was essentially the last major battle of the entire of the Great War, because, of course, the 11th of November was the end of World War I proper. Cavalieri was decorated many times, including the Medal of the Savoy and the Order of Bath, a British honour, of course, and was promoted steadily throughout his career, and ended his career as Marshal of Italy, which is as high as you can get, and he also became a senator. That was the end of World War I. He continued to serve all of his life. He was notably against fascist policy. He was alive all the way up until the end of World War II. And if you like, the old war horse was trotted out to increase morale and so forth. He did not approve of Mussolini at all. He was notorious for showing up and standing there and saluting, which was his duty as he saw it, while being not in favour of anything and not contributing anything beyond that. He died in 1945. Quite the soldier. Anyway, I am going to walk along the beach. The sun is just about to set, and I'm going to have a curry. do believe that's a single cactus. Very cool. Right, I would imagine this, because if you look, it's all held in, it's all overhangs, and I believe that is concrete put in there. I imagine that's why they've closed this road up the hill, because there are concrete blocks preventing cars from coming up, because eventually all of that is just going to fall. I'm going to get out of here. Right, sea level. So I do have an hour and a half before my restaurant opens. I just wanted to get down here and record up there. If you look behind me, that's the Mausoleum. It's a very prominent place for him to have his building to be memorialized and commemorated, and justifiably so. I mean, think about it. How many soldiers have been able to stand on a battlefield and say, I just brought down an empire? Anyway. There we go. The light just changed, so the sun just went down behind the horizon. Sunset on my 50th birthday. Half a century old. When the fuck did that happen? Anyway, I brought a hip flask of whiskey. The hip flask my brother Mark gave me. Poured a little into the sea, a little onto land. An offering to the gods, as it were. Yeah. Good morning, friends. So I'm just about to leave to walk, thankfully downhill this time, for about 45 minutes to the train station to get the train to Alessandria, as I am now heading north. Going to Alessandria, then Milan, then up to Lake Como, then Zurich, and back to Prague. And this is the last time I will see the sea until I land back in Britain in early December. Has to be said though, man. As last sights of the sea go, I could do a hell of a lot worse. Hope you're smiling.